Welcome to Irresistible You, Ignite Your Passion and Purpose. I'm Karen Seltz. This is the last episode. I am so grateful for this journey for the last over 3 years, for being able to come live with you every single week, except if I was on vacation. And usually I sit down a few minutes before the episode and just pray. I get quiet and I say, what wants to come through me? How can I serve? And as I was thinking about this last episode, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a topic in advance so I could invite people to be here with me live? And as I was in the shower this morning, what came to me was the top 10 lessons that I would tell my younger self. Like, what if I could go back to any version, any age that I ever was, and tell myself anything? What would I say? And then I sat down and I started to write them out, and it was just flowing. And, I came up with 31. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what I get done. So I am just going to dive right in. These are in no order. They're just the order that they came through. So number one, your worth never changes. There's not a single thing you can do to make yourself any more worthy. And there's not a single thing you can do to make yourself any less worthy. Our worth is our birthright. Nobody is more worthy than anyone else. And we can't earn it. We can't become more lovable by doing good things. We can't become less lovable by doing crappy things. Number two, nothing serious is going on here. I love this one. It reminds me to lighten up and have fun. When I'm taking something too seriously, I know that the ego has slipped in there and is selling me a bill of goods, because the ego is very, very serious. Everything is important and it has to be done now. It's urgent. And I know that my spirit is playful. Your spirit is playful. We are here to play. You're going to hear that in a lot of these, to play and have fun. And I want you to think about, how can you do that? How can you add more play and more fun into your life? Because, hey, we're here in this life now. Let's enjoy it. Number three, follow your highest level of excitement to the best of your ability. This comes from Bashar. And if you think about it, so many of us are in this loop of, I have to do this, I have to do that, this is important, I should, I must. Blah. And it just sucks our energy. Think about anything that you have to do and what it does to your energy. Whereas if you choose to do it, then you have a lot more available energy to you, and you're going to have more fun. There it is again. And I think about this, so many people are in jobs that they can't stand. Well, what would you rather do? Take one step in that direction and see what happens. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more, what is it? Fun. Yeah, you got it. Number four, determine your values and your goals and say yes only to those things. So this is a lot about really knowing yourself, having that awareness. I talked about this last week, but do a free values assessment online, because a lot of people don't even know their values. They're just kind of saying yes to everything, being in that people-pleasing trap. Or I don't want people to get mad at me. Or what if they invite me and I say no and they don't invite me ever again? Then you have that FOMO coming up. So a lot of what I do with my coaching clients is teach them how to set boundaries, how to check in with themselves. Like, is this a yes, or is this a no, or is it a maybe? And what I say is a maybe is a people pleaser's no. So really check in with your body. How does it feel? If someone asks you to do anything, whether it's something fun or something you think you should do, like, hey, would you help me move? And you're like, hell no, your body's in contraction. And you're like, oh no. Or will you bake 3 dozen cupcakes for the bake sale? And you're like, I got a zillion things to do. It's the last thing I want to do. So check in with your body and notice what it does. Really check in, allow it to move through you. So what I tell people in the beginning is just check in. And At first, it takes a little practice to start saying no, but just say, let me get back to you. Let me check in with myself. And it's not making an excuse. Please don't do that. Later on in my lessons, you're going to hear why. But I want you to really be honest. And if it's a no, when you check in, you're going to say to them, okay, let me get back to you. You are going to get back to them. You're not going to blow it off. You're going to get back to them and you're saying, you know what? Thanks for thinking of me, but I'm going to pass. It is, yes, it is that simple to say no to somebody. Or you can say, you know what? I'd love to help you out and my plate is full right now and I'm not feeling called to do that right now. But thanks, good luck with that or whatever. I mean, don't be a jerk, but really be true to yourself. Love yourself first. Put on your own oxygen mask first. Number 5, be in integrity with your word. This is really huge for people that are building self-trust or self-confidence, self-love. Anytime you are out of integrity with your word, and it can be the tiniest little thing. I'll give you an example in a moment. Your subconscious mind hears, oh, you can't be trusted. You're full of crap. Oh, sure, you're going to do that. So every time you make a commitment, anytime after that, your subconscious mind will talk you out of it immediately because you can't be trusted because you go back on your word. And my favorite example of this is me and my ice cream. Yes, I love ice cream. I used to go to the freezer with a spoon. I would grab the container of ice cream, and here's what I would say in my head. Now, this was never out loud. This is how insidious this is. It's everywhere. So I'd make this agreement with myself. I'm only going to have how many bites? You know the answer already. Yes, 1 bite. I'm only going to have 1 bite. So I go get the container of ice cream. I'd grab my bite, put the container back, go sit my butt on the couch. I'd have the bite. I'd be like, oh, I really want another bite. And I go back, who knows how many times. I probably ate like 3 bowls by the time I finished. I would have been better off just getting a bowl, right? So then later, once I became aware of this, I started checking in with myself like, okay, Karen, do you really only want 1 bite? Will that satisfy you? Or do you want more than that? And it would take me into myself. Like I would pause and say, okay, nope, 1 bite's not going to do it. Nice try, nice BS story. So maybe I get 2 bites and I'd put them in a bowl. And no matter what, even if I was like, oh, I really want more ice cream, I'd be like, nope, you're done. You made an agreement. And what happened from there is my confidence, my trust, my word became gold, absolute gold. Like anybody who knows me knows that if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I show up, I follow through. But it really starts with those silent agreements that you have with yourself. Now, this is one of my favorite ones, and that is take risks. Do something that scares you often. Some people will say, do something that scares you every day. I don't know how practical that is, but we are taught to not take risks. We are taught to play it safe. We're taught to raise our hand if we have the right answer, if we're sure. How many times did you raise your hand in school when you were like 50% sure the answer was right? Like never in my case. I'd be like, I'm 100% sure. Yes, I'll raise my hand. But you get to take risks and be willing. This is one of my other ones, like be willing to fuck things up. Like, who cares? Perfection does not exist. And if we say to ourselves, like, I'll put this out when it's perfect, then we've really screwed ourselves because it will never be perfect. It's a way of staying stuck and staying safe. And safety is definitely an illusion. So start with something small, like watch this TED Talk, 100 Days of Rejection Challenge. Do some of those. Those are super fun. My favorite one, ask a stranger to race. It's so much fun to see people's faces. And you're like, you want to do what? Race. Let's race from here to that sign. And they're like, what? You're crazy. But every now and then somebody says yes. And it's so much fun. It's so delightful. So there's that fun again. There it is. Whoop, there it is. And when you take a risk, regardless of what happens, regardless of the result, celebrate yourself. You're like, yes, I did it. So celebrate the fact that you did it, not the result. So that was number 6 and 7. Number 8, Start before you are ready. You will never be ready, ever. Like, were you ready to be a parent? Like, no. Were you ready to graduate high school? No. Were you ready to get married? No. You're never ready. Action creates clarity. I deal with a lot of entrepreneurs and they're like, oh, this isn't ready yet. Like, yeah, it's never going to be ready. The only way to get it ready and better is through feedback. And the only way to get feedback is to put people through your stuff, right? So action creates clarity. And understand too, don't fall into this trap like, oh, I need to know one more thing. I need one more course, one more certification. You already know enough. You know enough to do something. Think about if you're in coaching or any type of service, who is looking for what you have? Like, think about where you were 3 years ago or 5 years ago and all the lessons you've learned in that amount of time. That person, you 3 or 5 years ago, you can serve with exactly what you know because you're here now. You're here today. So just start, put something out there, be willing to take a risk and to fuck it up. Like, yes, all those things. All right, this is a good one. I like this. Commit to creating quiet time every single day. Pray, meditate, journal, read spiritual books, do something quiet. What I found over the years is ego, the voice of the ego speaks first and it speaks loudest. Our spirit, our higher self, our guides, they only come in when they're invited. We have free will. And you can't hear them if you're scrolling or watching TV or there's noise of any kind. And noise could be visual, it could be auditory, it could be anything. Could be even like physical pain in your body or cravings to eat. So get quiet. Learn how to quiet your mind and to ask good questions. So when I'm journaling, for example, I write questions to spirit, and then I write down the answers. So do that every single day and follow it, commit to it and follow it, schedule it. All right, number 10, do RRT, rapid resolution therapy. Clear out the crap, all the years of baggage, all the blocks, all the things that are keeping you stuck. If you have the ability to will your way out of them, you would have done it by now. How much time do you want to spend doing the same thing over and over and wishing that you had done something differently and then beating yourself up because you didn't? Well, here's what I'm going to say. You couldn't have done it any differently, or you would have. And RRT is the quickest thing that I have found that just clears out all the crap and creates this blank slate so that you can okay, what do I want? I don't know why I was so afraid of picking up the phone and making cold calls before. What's the big deal? I mean, that's my story. So just schedule an appointment with me or with somebody who does RRT. Clear out the crap because it's not serving you. And the only purpose of a disturbing thought, emotion, sensation in your body, impulse, or habit is your subconscious mind wants you to take an action right now in order to not get hurt or not get dead. And usually it has to do with this clutter that's in your subconscious mind. So when you think about anything that's over with and you feel anything disturbing, that's your subconscious mind wanting you to take an action now to change what happened back then. It's a total waste of your energy. So what we'll do in RRT is we'll harvest that energy so that you can use it right now to heal your body, to be creative, to take risks, to do whatever you want, the fun stuff, to skip and play and dance and sing. Number 11, this is an 11, practice receiving. For all of my supportive, loving friends out there who give and give and give and give and say, oh, no, not me. I can't receive. No, thanks. I got it. No, it's okay. I don't need to. Oh, this thing, it's old. Oh, you look pretty too. You know who I'm talking to. I'm going to say something really harsh that could be like a gut punch to you. When you deflect things that are being offered to you, genuine support, genuine compliments, you are basically doing this. You're flipping off people. You're like, nope, I got it. F you. And it is the most selfish thing you could do. Overgiving is extremely selfish. It puts an imbalance in your relationships, and the people that are receiving from you feel it. And they also feel like you don't trust them or they're not good enough to support you. So you're taking away their good feelings. So if somebody stops to change your tire, a stranger, and you're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You saved my bacon. And that person feels really good unless or until you say, here's $20. And they're like, wah, wah. All their good feelings are gone because you just made it an exchange. So don't do that. Stop exchanging. Receiving is actually one of the most generous things you can do. So practice saying yes. When people say, hey, can I carry your groceries out? Yes, please. That'd be great. Thank you. Can I open the door for you? Can I pay for your meal? Yes. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. And be grateful. Have fun with it. Number 12. I don't have that many fingers. I can't do it. Train your mind to look for what went well, what you appreciate, and then you celebrate every single thing. We are born with a negativity bias. It helps us stay alive. If we can predict, if we can say, oh, this is what went wrong, that gives us a greater chance for survival. Back in the primitive days, there's no lions chasing you. There's not any big lessons like that are really going to impact your survival. So start to look for what went well. Whatever you tell your subconscious mind to focus on, it will start to notice for you. So notice when someone opens a door for you, like, oh my gosh, the universe is abundant. Notice when someone gives you a compliment, when they didn't want anything back in return. So notice all of that and train your mind to really pay attention to it. What some people do that I think is supportive is they write like 10 things they're grateful for that day. That can become kind of mundane and like, oh gosh, I have to. If it becomes a have to, please don't do it. Don't do any have tos. Screw that. Life's too short for have tos. We get to have, is it fun, fun, fun. Girls just want to have fun. Number 13, have an intention for everything. So anytime you transition, you wake up, what's your intention for the day? What do you want? I really learned this once I started doing RRT on a regular basis. That is how we roll. And I might add to this one, even though I didn't write it down. We have an intention for the session. So I'm just going to use this as an example. My intention before I come into a session is that my client's mind will entertain only thoughts that have value about things that are good to have done and possible to do. And then their mind will attach pleasure in doing those things that are good to have done, like working out. Not so much fun to do, but great to have done, right? And then satisfaction over time in having done them. This can be used everywhere. I remember once I hadn't dated for a couple years, and I had the intention of creating a committed, monogamous, loving relationship. And so I used to go to work, and I would do work at Starbucks. I'd take my laptop and I'd work. And I'm working. And I remember once going and I'm like, okay, my intention is to be open. Even though I'm working, my intention is to be open and loving. And that day I got asked out twice. Now I was working. I wasn't like looking around. I wasn't flirting. I was just open. And guys came up to me and asked me out. I'm like, what is happening? So this intention stuff works. I have started 2 dead car batteries with intention and energy. So I've healed people's bodies like broken bones and with intention and energy. So just about anything is possible if you have an intention and you're playful about it. You're detached from the outcome. Just see what happens. Play with it. Number 14 is extremely important. I consider this to be the number 1 skill of every successful person. And you define what success means. I think it means a lot of things, not just money. And it is learn to regulate your nervous system. When you are in a fight or flight or fawn or freeze response, you have 0 access to your conscious mind, which means you have 0 access to compassion, to love, to humor, to playfulness, to fun, to strategic thinking, logic. All of it's gone. You are just a primitive being running for your life or ready to bite someone really hard. Those things, fear and anger, are worse than useless in this world that we live in this society as an adult. Completely useless. All it does is allow you to run really fast for a short period of time. You'll be extremely focused and motivated to outrun the lion, or to bite someone really hard if you're angry and tear their flesh. Tell me how that's useful. It's not. So learn to regulate your nervous system. One of the quickest ways to do that is by clearing out the past trauma, the baggage. Also, there are so many different practices. I do some in Brain Gym that are super fast. There's a lot of different breathing techniques that you can learn, but really focus on that, learn that, because it's going to serve you everywhere, everywhere. You're going to have more energy to heal your body. You'll be able to sleep better. You'll have more creativity flowing through you. Like, everything's much better when you do that. Number 15, nothing is personal. Nothing. So if someone says, you are the meanest person I've ever met, who's that about? Well, not you. It's about them. So whenever someone says anything to you about you, it is a projection of themselves. If it's something that could be considered hurtful and you feel it, that's because there's some part of you that fears it and that believes that it might be true. Now, I used to have a trigger around the word selfish because my mom used to say, oh, that person's so selfish. And I learned that selfish equals not lovable. And I did not want to be that, especially to my mom. So I learned to be a people pleaser and to put myself last, or in my case, never. Like, I never considered what I wanted for a very long time. And my cup was always empty. So when you learn this, and the best way I think to learn it is through keeping a judgment journal. Start writing down your judgments about yourself in one section. And then at the top of another page, write down my judgments about others. And you start to see these patterns, like, what are your judgments about others? Those are your subconscious beliefs about yourself. You don't know you believe them, so you put them out onto other people. Here's the thing, when you bring all those back and you're like, okay, it's okay. I love you, you little selfish bitch. I adore you. I mean, this is the stuff I do. That's fun for me, right? I get to play. When you bring those fractured pieces back in, the ones you're like, oh no, I'm not lovable if I'm selfish. I'm not lovable if I'm a bitch. I'm not lovable if I do X, Y, Z. Then you will feel whole. It's a beautiful thing, because you don't need validation from out here, because it's never going to be enough anyway. So nothing's personal. If somebody's saying something to you, about you, or just about you, here are the questions I want you to ask. Is this an extension of love? And if they're saying something negative, it's not, right? Or is it a cry for healing? If someone says something to you that's, meant to be hurtful, or it feels hurtful, they are hurting. And what I ask myself is, do I have capacity to love them? Can I just see them as hurting? It has nothing to do with me. Can I be neutral about it and just see them as hurting and offer them love? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And I'm okay with that. I'm like, not right now, maybe later. And then I just put it off till later. All right, I got to hurry up, man. 16, all events are neutral. Neutral. I'm not going to go into that one because it's too hard to explain. 17, black and white thinking are of the ego, and they put you in a very tiny box. So if you see only two options, either I quit my job and be poor and end up homeless, or I stay here and be miserable. That is the ego. It's got you. When you say, what else is possible? You introduce just one more option. You are inviting God, spirit, source into play. Because trust me, we live in an infinite universe that gives you way more than two choices. So look at that. 19, you cannot solve a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it. Einstein, I love Einstein, right? He's amazing. And what this means is, when you're in a certain level of thinking, when you're thinking, for me, all right, I'll use myself as an example. I am so right about this, which means the other person's wrong. When you're dug in like that, you can't get out of it with that level of thinking. For me, the quickest way to get out of it is to call somebody. I phone a friend. I'm like, oh man, I'm convinced I'm right. Like, talk me down, tell me how I'm wrong or whatever, because you want to have people in your corner that you can call that will listen to you, that will cheer you on, but will not co-sign your bullshit. Those are true friends, the ones that will say, uh-huh, yeah, Karen, okay, just tell me. And they're like giggling on the side, and you're like, okay, I see I'm ridiculous. Number 20, follow your intuition, even if it makes no sense. Intuition rarely makes sense. So in the last couple of days, I like get these calls, and one of them was to call or to text this guy that was one of my clients. He did 3 sessions with me. I have no idea why. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to text him and see if he's okay. And he's like, oh my gosh, I've been having a really bad day. How did you know? I'm like, I got the bat signal. I don't know. But it, for me, 100% of the time works. 100% of the time. My friend Risa, she texted me out of the blue, and she lives in New York. I live in Arizona, and we exchanged messages. Turns out we were going to be in the exact same city in California at the exact same time. And I hadn't seen her in over a year. And we got to see each other because she followed her intuition. Beautiful. I'll see how many I can get done. Number 21, if you are the smartest person in the room, find a new room. Continue to learn and grow. Be a curious, lifelong learner. If there's nothing for you to learn, why are you there? Move. 22, every characteristic that you want, even the ones you think are like way outside of you, is 100% learnable. Break them down into action steps. How does a funny person behave? What actions do they take? How does a charismatic person behave? What actions do they take? How about a confident person, a bold person, a successful person, an abundant person? How do they act? What do they do? And you can do that. You can do absolutely anything if you break it down into little steps and just take the actions. Yay! 23. Schedule in fun things that bring you joy and make them non-negotiable. Put them in your calendar and experience it. Feel it in your body. That will build your energy. If you find yourself at the end of the day like dragging your butt, do more fun things. Try skipping. It's one of my favorite. It shifts the brain immediately and brings joy. Number 24, ask God often, how can I best serve? What I say anytime before I speak or before I get on any type of a call, a client session, is get me out of the way and speak through me and just do whatever comes. And when you're in service, you will feel so lit up, so on purpose, and it's lovely. All right, 25, trust that you are always taken care of and that there is always enough for everyone. We do not live in a scarce universe. We live in an abundant universe. And if you get more money than someone else, you're not taking from them. There's plenty for everyone. There's enough money right now in circulation for every single person on the planet to be a millionaire. So just remember that. When you can trust and soften into it, you then become in a state to actually receive it. What else helps with abundance? Practicing receiving compliments, saying yes to support, asking for support. Number 26, remember that you are enough. God does not create crap. He doesn't create like, oh, no, that one's a little defective. Like that one's not enough, but this one's way too much. You're also not too much. You're just enough. Just be you. 27, if you find yourself thinking about a past event or a feeling, anything that causes a disturbing emotion, get that shit cleared with RRT. I know I said it before, but get it cleared. The only purpose of a disturbing thought, emotion, sensation is for you to take an action to not die. And suffering, this is 28, is optional and completely unnecessary. Suffering comes from the meanings that we attach to events about life and about ourselves. And that can be cleared. I'm out of time. I'm just going to finish, whatever. 29, you are meant to be happy and abundant. It is your birthright. So just freaking own it and do that thing. Like what would make me happy right now? Where do I feel the flow? Where do I feel the love of God? Where do I experience it? Make a list of where you experience flow or the love of God and schedule those things in every day, because you are meant to be happy. And if you're not happy, you're probably doing something that's out of alignment for you, because when you're on purpose and doing things that are meant for you, you're going to feel joyful. You're going to feel excited. You're going to feel energetic and passionate and all the things. Number 30, surround yourself with people that celebrate you, that cheer you on, that hold you high, that support you, that call you on your BS. And also, they allow you to support them. It's a two-way street. You want balance. Giving is receiving, and receiving is giving. And number 31, the last one, insight and ahas are not transformation. How many things do you know? You're like, oh my gosh, now I know better. For me, that becomes ammunition. Like now, things that the ego can beat you up over. Now you know better and you're not doing better. Oh, what does that mean about you? Talk about suffering. So just because you have an aha or get some insight means nothing. And smart people love these. They love them. They feel so good in the moment until a couple days later when you're doing the same damn thing that you've always been doing. And you're like, oh, damn it. There I go again. That means this about me. So I hope this was supportive to you. Thank you so much for all your support for these 3+ years. And I will be live with you again doing something. I don't know what it is yet. So if you have suggestions, please let me know. And please comment. Let me know which ones were your favorites and what you plan to do moving forward. Thank you once again for watching Irresistible You, Ignite Your Passion and Purpose. I'm Karen Seltz. I love you so much. Mwah.